Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to Dreamworks Switch to Life. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about everything that we know Dreamworks is coming out with as of August 2025. So without further ado, let's dive into the video. The next Dreamworks movie that we have to talk about is actually out in theaters right now, as of today. That, of course, being The Bad Guys 2. I've already purchased my tickets, and I cannot wait to watch this movie. It was my most anticipated film of 2025, and I am still very excited for it. With that in mind, I will be posting a review of this movie at some point in the next week, so please make sure to subscribe to my channel to keep an eye out for that. After that, our next movie is going to be Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, which will be DreamWorks' very first live-action animation hybrid. And because of that, it's going to be an outsourced movie. So the film will be released on September 26, 2025. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not really too excited for this, considering it's based off of a preschool TV show. But I did like the trailer, so maybe I will enjoy it. Who knows? Also, while not confirmed by official sources, there is a rumor going around that a brand new short film made by DreamWorks Animation called Wednesdays with Grandpa will be released theatrically with the movie. And this short film really does exist because it won the Kids' Choice Awards at Short Fest earlier this summer. After that, we will have to wait about a year until the next DreamWorks movie, which will be Forgotten Island, with a release date of September 25th, 2026. As of right now, we know very little about the movie. We don't even know if it's going to be a mainline movie made by DreamWorks or an outsourced movie with another animation studio handling the animation. But if I had to guess, I would say mainline because it's being made by the same directors of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. The story is that it's about a group of people who get stranded on an island and discover that it's cursed with some Philippine-inspired myth. Our next movie after that is Shrek 5 with a release date of December 23rd, 2026. And we know absolutely nothing about the plot of this movie. We do know a bit about the casting choices. Not only are a lot of the cast members returning to play their characters, but we also have a newcomer, Zendaya, playing the role of a grown-up baby Felicia from the third and fourth movie. And while it's not really confirmed, there is a rumor going around that Antonio Banderas will not be playing Puss in Boots in the fifth Shrek film, which kind of makes sense now that he's kind of got that main character energy going on, so there's that. After that, the next DreamWorks movie is Cocomelon the movie, which, yeah, I'm not excited for, at all. It's based off of another preschool TV show, but this time from Moonbug Entertainment. As far as I can tell, DreamWorks is just in charge of the distribution of the movie. Instead, the animation will be handled by DNEG Animation, and the copyright and script will be done by Moonbug Entertainment. So there's that. And the movie currently has a release slate of 2027. We don't have an exact release date, we just know that it will be in theaters in 2027. And the final movie that I want to talk about is a movie we don't know anything about. In fact, we don't even know what this movie is. All we know is that DreamWorks has reserved a release date of September 22nd, 2028 for an unknown DreamWorks movie. It could be an outsourced movie, it could be a mainline movie, it could be an original, it could be a sequel, nobody knows. But be sure to leave your thoughts on what it could be down below in the comment section. And with all that out of the way, it's time to move to the TV show side of things. Our first show that we have to talk about is Gabby's Dollhouse, which is scheduled to get up to 100 episodes, meaning that since we currently have 76, we have 24 at minimum to go. And with that in mind, we know that Season 12 of Gabby's Dollhouse will be released on November 17th, 2025. We don't know how many episodes will be in it, but it would not surprise me at all if they decided to change up the animation to match it with the movie. I will admit the movie has some high quality animation, but the character designs do look slightly different. Not to the point where it drastically changes, but to the point where I could see an upgrade for the TV show. Speaking of renewed shows, we also have Jurassic World Chaos Theory, which will have Season 4 release on November 20th, 2025. Now, I'm going to be honest, I think Season 4 will most likely be the final season. And the reason? The showrunners have said that they do not have the green light to go beyond Jurassic World Dominion. Well, Season 3 crossed over with the first half of Dominion, and it looks like Season 4 will cross over with the second half of Dominion. Again, while not confirmed, I'm pretty sure that Season 4 will be the final season of Chaos Theory. But as we say goodbye to one show, it's time to say hello to a new show, which may or may not exist. That, of course, being the Bad Guys TV show. Now, the thing about this is it's kind of just a rumor right now. We know that The Bad Guys has a couple of holiday specials on Netflix, both of which were advertised as part of a Netflix original series. Now, I've been saying for a long time that it's likely the TV show was delayed so that it could come out after the second movie. Well, now that the second movie is out, we could see an announcement as soon as a couple months from now. We might even see an announcement this month. However, I'm not holding my breath. The final announcement I want to talk about is Dogman, and more so the fact that the film is currently streaming on Peacock, but eventually it will leave Peacock and move over to Netflix, most likely during the last week of September, more specifically September 30th, as it was released on Peacock on May 30th, 4 months after September 30th. Speaking of, let's move over to our next streaming service. As of right now, Peacock has no shows that are ongoing right now. Because of that, the only show that we know Peacock is going to get eventually is a live-action Casper the Friendly Ghost series. We don't know anything about this aside from the fact that it will focus more on the horror aspect instead of the friendly aspect of Casper. Unfortunately, we don't even know when this series is going to release. We don't even have a release slate. But if I had to guess, I would say that it would most likely release in 1 October. Whether it's this year, next year, the year after that, who knows? I also want to talk about the live-action How to Train Your Dragon remake, which is currently playing in theaters right now. However, you can also buy it digitally, and if you want, you can buy the Blu-ray and DVD version of the movie when it releases on August 12th, 2025. But with that in mind, if you don't want to buy the movie or see it in theaters, you can wait for it to come to streaming, as it will hit Peacock most likely on October 10th, 2025. And 4 months after that, it will move over to Netflix. Now, I highly recommend going to watch this movie, especially because Dreamworks has already greenlit the sequel. That's right, we're getting a live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon 2 with the release date of June 11th, 2027. But with that in mind, it's time to move to our next streaming service. The first show on Apple TV Plus is Bear Brick, which, as many of you know, was greenlit for 1 season with 13 episodes. However, we don't know the stance of a second season. It's likely that this show was ordered as a limited series, but maybe they were secretly planning a season 2 along the way? Honestly, who knows? But if I had to guess, I would say that we probably won't be seeing it for a while, especially if only the first season was greenlit. The next show that we have is Curses, which as of right now has 2 seasons with 20 episodes, both of which were released in October. more specifically October 2023 and October 2024. So if I had to guess, we're going to probably get a season 3 in October 2025. Now, that's mostly just speculation, and maybe the show was quietly canceled behind the scenes, or maybe it just reached its end, one of the two. But until we get to October and there is no confirmation of season 3, I'm gonna keep mentioning this show in my upcoming Dreamworks projects video. But with all that out of the way, it's time to dive into our final streaming service. Now, this next batch may or may not belong to Dreamworks Animation. We know that there's going to be a live-action She-Ra TV show that will be produced by Dreamworks Animation, as they own the copyright to She-Ra. However, the show will actually be a spin-off to a live-action He-Man and the Masters of the Universe movie with a release date of July 2026. Because of that, I'd speculate that the live-action She-Ra TV show will be released in 2027 at the earliest. So with that in mind, the next announcement that we have is a live-action Voltron movie, which, while not being made or even produced by Dreamworks Animation, they still own the copyright for the Voltron franchise, so it counts. Now, we don't really know much about the story aside from the fact it will be faithful to the original Voltron TV show. However, while we know a lot about the cast members, we don't know anything about what characters they will be playing as well. So they're really keeping the story under wraps. Speaking of, in terms of a release date, there's been an update. Unfortunately, the film will no longer be sent to theaters. Instead, it will be an Amazon Prime Video exclusive, which is very unfortunate. I don't get why Amazon would let He-Man go to theaters, but not Voltron. Well, actually I can. He-Man is way more popular. Plus, I'm pretty sure that the live-action He-Man is a reboot of the 1980s show, while the live-action Voltron seems like it's going to be more of a continuation. But anyway, that's it for all of our upcoming Dreamworks projects. So to recap, first we have The Bad Guys 2, which is currently in theaters as of today, right now. This will be followed by the live-action How to Train Your Dragon remake Blu-ray and DVD release on August 12th, 2025. This will then be followed by DreamWorks' next movie, Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, with the release date of September 26, 2025. Also releasing with Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, is a brand new short film called Wednesdays with Grandpa. This will be followed by the Netflix release of Dogman, most likely on September 30th, 2025. This will then be followed by the Peacock release of the live-action How to Train Your Dragon remake, most likely on October 10th, 2025. Then we have Gabby's Dollhouse Season 12 on Netflix with a release date of November 17th, 2025. This is followed by Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 4, most likely the final season, which will be released on November 20th, 2025. This is then followed by the next DreamWorks movie, Forgotten Island, with a release date of September 25th, 2026. Then fast forward to December 23rd, 2026, and we have Shrek 5. This will then be followed in 2027 with Cocomelon, the movie, and on June 11th, 2027, we have the live-action How to Train Your Dragon 2 remake. And our final announcement is an unknown DreamWorks movie, which we don't know anything about aside from the fact that it has a release date of September 22nd, 2028. And with that in mind, which of these projects are you most excited for? Be sure to leave your thoughts down below in the comments section. And if you want to help support the channel, be sure to join my membership program by clicking the join button down below, or you can just do the free option and subscribe. But with all of that in mind, make sure that you're staying safe out there, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.
And we are a go for take two. Nope, I'm out. You can talk to my agent.